It is February 21st, 2020, and I have returned to the last place I backpacked, which was Limestone Ridge, around November 1st. I'm kicking myself right now. I really wish I brought my mountain bike, because I could have parked on the side of the road and then biked the rest of the way to the trailhead. There's no way in hell I'm moving that log. Next plan is going all the way up Highway 3 until I get to this road that's all paved to Long Canyon Trailhead. And then I would do some hiking in the Red Trinity Alps, which is a beautiful spot, but again, it's just going to be a much later start. So far, snowshoeing has been pretty fun. Strapped in pretty nicely. I just have one vapor barrier on the outside of a thin liner sock right now. I'm just kind of testing to see how warm I need to be. I could put another sock on the outside, but it seems like it's keeping warm enough. Someone had walked here, but it hasn't been recent. And there's my tracks. This is a hell of a workout. Right below Gibson, and I'm gonna camp out in this grove up there, and it actually looks pretty dry because of the sun exposure. On this side is a south-facing slope, so it's just a good spot. Following someone's tracks. Without these tracks, I don't think I would have made it this far, but I feel that the current tread is level enough to feel comfortable with this, and I'm gonna keep an eye on the snow quality, and if I ever feel it's too icy in the morning and it's too steep, then I'm just gonna stay at camp, turn around, hang out, wait for the snow to thaw out. First night in the tarp, some coffee. There's my camp. It was pretty warm last night, and so there's the sun rising from the east, shining its rays along Long Canyon, and yeah, it's a beautiful morning. Can't complain. And someone's tracks are up on this slope, zigzagging up that way. Gibson Peak. Made it up the first series of switchbacks. There is Mount Gibson, which is far east on this ridge line, 8,400 feet. I'm going to be going up to Stingbee Pass, and then after that there's going to be a lot of really amazing places to go, meadows and some mellow summits. Four Lakes Loop Trail starts here basically. This peak, which I'm looking at summiting, there's a moderate slope on this side here, which I think I'll look at it and see how comfortable I feel with that. And that will be right over Summit Lake, which is on the opposing side of that mountain, and then Siligo Peak. Made it to Deer Creek Pass, and pretty steep slopes going down to Deer Lake. And I don't see any tracks. There's one track here, but that's just from a rock that has kind of fell down the lake. You can see it right on top of the ice there. I got Deer Creek Canyon, there's Tri-Forester Peak, and Caribou Mountain in the distance. I'm thinking of going up to the summit. This is above my pay grade. I tried to kick in some steps on the steeper portions, but it's just gonna be way too long and arduous to do that. And I definitely need an ice axe. I'm gonna go down to the low meadow area there. So far I've been getting my water sources from these boggy areas where there's a deep enough area where you can scoop for water, but I definitely been filtering just because of how much dirt and debris is inside of this water. I used some crisscross patterns, as you can kind of see where these grove of trees are. I'd rather hit a tree than go sliding, 45, 50 miles an hour down that way. Navigation's been actually fairly straightforward because I've been in this area a few times. Sawtooth Mountain right there. the high White Trinity Alps. Looks like a decent amount of snow, but still, snow level's pretty low. Most of these tree wells, you can see the dirt, and that's like, so it's, you know, 3 or 4 feet. Echo Lake, yeah, fully frozen over, as are pretty much every lake in the Alps right now. And I'm gonna take a lunch there. Got Red Mountain Peak up there. Got my drying rack out here. I can briefly show you what my system is for hiking. I have pretty aggressive grip. La Sportiva RX2s, I believe. I'm just doing the vapor barrier technique that I read from Andrew Skirka, but I just got a thin liner sock on the inside, and then I put this 10-gallon Ziploc bag that I cut the actual Ziploc off, and then over that I put this cheap-ass sock over it. Do get a little damp because of sweating on the inside of this, but it still beats my feet being numb. Let my feet breathe for a little bit. This is like a front row seat of the White Trinities. I've done a traverse along this ridge before. There's Red Mountain, which I've summited, and Stonewall Pass. We've got Echo Lake, which is frozen over. There's also another cross-country route that I've taken up and over this chute. It's this one here that I've taken before when it was like all scree. Going at a pace of about 1.4 miles an hour according to my GPS track. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable going up to Stonewall Pass, and then Middle Peak is right up there. That's what makes snowshoeing slow. Stonewall Pass. It's been a hell of a hike. Granite Peak over yonder. I'm going along the ridge and kind of side hilling Trinity Lake. The snow quality on these south-facing slopes is suboptimal. It's not quite sun-cupped, but it's slushy enough to where you don't get the kind of traction you want. You lose a little bit of momentum in each step. There's Middle Peak right there. Finally flattened out, so nice easy walking up there. So Granite Peak's there, which I'm definitely not going to summit. And right here, kind of like a cornice on the outside that's made it really steep. If I could get an entry into this cirque, then I would definitely be able to get down to Bowerman Meadows, because the terrain itself is not very steep according to the slope angle shading and just from looking at it visibly, but I'm thinking it's not going to be doable. We got a really good view of Mount Shasta today. Clarity is pretty on par. There's also Lassen in the distance, and I just recently noticed that this haze has actually started from a fire. I don't know if it's a control burn or not. Snowshoe tripod. I'm kind of memorized by this bird. I haven't seen many birds since I've been out here. Looks like he brought a friend. There's Stonewall over there. Can't see it, but I'm gonna just be able to backtrack. I was on top of that snowy mountain probably a little over an hour ago. I'm at Little Stonewall Pass, looking to camp in Upper Silgo Meadows, depending on how I'm feeling, but I mean, it's a hell of a workout. My feet are getting pretty cold, and for some reason I've lost my watch and base layer, which is a little concerning, but I know that I have enough to keep me warm enough. Tarp set up nicely. Without snowshoes, I'm post-holing a solid 6 inches or more. show you real quick. What we got going on. All the usual. And of course, just staked a little differently. And then my backyard. It's a bit colder this morning. That's probably because of the wind chill. Just about to take down the shelter. Bee tree gap not too far ahead, and it looks like there is some sunlight. Just came from Bee tree gap. There's some dark clouds that are heading this way. There's about a 30% chance of some snowfall. Just making a steady pace down. This is going to be my steepest slope down into Lower Long Canyon, and my campsite for the first night is down there, which I'm hoping I lost my base layer, so I'm hoping I left it in that camp. Yeah, just gonna take it nice and easy. Got crampons on the bottom of these snowshoes, or else I definitely wouldn't be attempting these types of slopes. Pretty stoked. So I did leave my base layer. Saved myself 120 bucks. Looking at my tracks. On the way up I did a zigzag, and on the way down I just did a straight line. Had a nice flow rate, went out underneath the snow here. We've got Gibson right there. And Long Canyon. Looking back, you can see my tracks, and I went up that slope, up and over. Still is the most efficient route for snow travel. The trail though actually makes a little bend, a little U-turn, and then up that way. Avalanche slide right here. Until next time.